Welcome to Better Together, the podcast where we go behind the scenes on what truly goes on at xrecruiter. I'm Emmeline, and in this series, I'll be sitting down with the people that make everything happen, from leadership to the people behind the scenes helping our partners succeed every day. We'll talk about how we help recruiters build their own business, what really goes on in supporting our partners, and the stories behind the people doing the work. Today, I'm so excited to be joined by Rav, our head of finance. Thank you so much for joining.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. I'm super excited to get to know you a bit more, talk more about finance and how it contributes to our partner community. I think you guys have such a big impact on what we do here. So, Rav, for anyone who doesn't know you, can you tell me a bit about your background and what you kind of did before coming to xrecruiter?
Sure. My background is in finance within the franchising sector, working across food, hospitality, fitness, and now recruitment for almost 15 years. And it wasn't a typical finance role where you sit behind the desk and crunch numbers, but I worked very closely with the business owners, with the leadership teams to scale the business through profitability, through cash flow management, through securing more lending from different finance providers and banks and so forth. So, and then I came across to xrecruiter because, I just found that it was in a very similar kind of growth stage, and I had kind of seen what it looks like to scale the business. So I thought I could make a really big impact at xrecruiter in regards to, setting up the foundations when it comes to finance systems and processes, and make sure that we're set for the future. And one thing really stood out to me about xrecruiter was Blake's energy and his passion about, genuinely making recruiters successful and seeing them, start, run, and grow their businesses. I think that was really infectious and really excited me. I still remember a conversation from the interview with Matt and Blake back in the day. They said, we are building a plane. We are flying a plane while we're building it. And I was like, yeah, this is it. This is exactly the kind of role, kind of company I want to be part of. Other thing that really stood out was the model itself, because coming from franchising, I knew how good that is for new people who want to kind of get into their business, but they don't know where to start and how to kind of operate. But I think xrecruiter takes it to one level up, where the partners get to enjoy all the benefits of franchising, like when it comes to support and all the resources they get as part of being part of the brand. But they get to operate under their own personal brand, so they can personalize that and they can have that personal touch to it. And also, while they're back in admin, when it comes to finance, the big obstacle for most of the business owners is they don't understand the numbers. They don't want to deal with invoicing and chasing debt and all that. So all that is handled at xrecruiter. I think that was a really big positive part of the model that really kind of excited me and encouraged me to be part of xrecruiter. And here I am.
That's awesome. And it's so clear that you do make such a big impact. But I love what you said straight off the bat around the transition from franchise to the model at xrecruiter, because funnily enough, a lot of the recruiters that I speak to assume that this is a franchise model, but it's so much deeper than that, right? And it's so much cooler in that they're building a brand and xrecruiter is helping them get there. So I'm keen to dive into that a little bit more. But finance, the whole finance team at xrecruiter, it makes up quite a big portion of our headcount, and for a very important reason. It's a big part of what we do. It's a big part of how we support our partners. From your perspective, what does the finance team actually do? What are you there for?
Usually people, when think about finance, they think it's just number crunching and just paying bills and stuff, but I think it goes way more than that. So obviously, like the basic day-to-day admin, we do that. We pay people, invoice people, and receive bill clients and then follow the debts and all. So that's part of our day-to-day. But on top of that, what we do is we setting up the foundations and the systems and processes for our recruiters to make sure then the systems can scale as a recruiter scale as well. Just starting from the day one when a partner comes on board, we help them set up their entities, their zero profile, all the compliance sort of things that needs to be done. But moving forward on a monthly basis, we are providing them monthly insights into their performance, into their numbers. We are helping them collect the debt quicker so that their cash flow is positive. But we are pretty much more like a business partnering with them, more than just, here we go, this is what happened last month. We are actually telling them, this is what had happened last month and what do you need to do in the next month and so as well. We also help them with their budgeting as well. I think that's a big part as well. So most of the people, they get into day to day and really like, oh, this is what I'm doing today, this is what I'm doing tomorrow, but looking ahead and what the next year looks like, and then working towards those goals as well.
Damn, that's quite a bit.
It is.
For someone who went solo and started an agency by themselves, what would they have to do to achieve all of that? Like, who would they have to hire? What kind of systems would they have to have?
A lot.
Yeah.
There is a lot. And to be honest, this is probably one of the biggest fears for the recruiters as well, or not just recruiters, any business owner. Someone's working as an employee somewhere, they want to start their business, they got an idea in their head, they got dream to start a business, but the part of like stepping into it, it's not that easy, because all those aspects from, like I said, starting from, registering your business name, your entities and shareholder agreements, and then ABNs and GSTs, and like once you're operating as well, like it's not as easy, because all this compliance stuff just, rocks up on you, which you didn't think about before. Oh, you gotta get work cover now, you gotta register for payroll tax. Oh shit, sorry for the word, for my language, but yeah, you got GST due in a quarter, you got super. So there is a lot as a business owner. So and most of the business owners that I've worked with, they are really, really good at big focus, or they know that they got their idea and how to make it happen, but they're not good at all those detailed stuff. So I think that's where having some kind of support structure around you is really, really important. So lets you then focus on what you are really good at, and then you are relying on other people to deal with all the stuff that you don't want to deal with or you're not good at.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's super important as well, to really just stay laser focused on the parts that they are good at. So, I mean, you've worked with a lot of agency founders now, and, with your background in finance, what are some of the financial aspects of the role of business owner that you find people run into the most, especially in like those initial stages?
I believe the first one and the most important one is just the tagline everyone's probably heard about: cash flow is king. Like, I think that's the part where people probably don't plan properly. They get into the business, which is great. And also like with the cash flow, all the expenses as well. I think got to keep in mind what it actually going to cost, because cash doesn't hit your account straight away as soon as you invoice, or as soon as you bill a client. So there's always a lagging time, but also be mindful that you may not bill for a month or so, or maybe 2 months, but your expenses start hitting your P&L the day you operate, or even actually before that, when you're registering your bank accounts and your company and all that. So keep that in mind as well, that there could be a couple of months where you may not have any cash coming in, but you got expenses flowing through your P&L. So be mindful of that. I think that's one of the biggest challenge. Other one would be, what else? Just trying to think if there's anything else. I think mixing personal and business expenses as well. That's a big one with the recruiters, because they are not used to that mindset of having separate bank accounts. So they're trying to like put everything through the business, and which is good. They want to obviously streamline their tax returns at the end of the year, want to take some extra deductions. But what that does is that doesn't then give you a true picture of your business performance. So you're looking at the numbers, which are not right. You may be looking at losing money month on month, but if you got like personal expenses going through the business, that's not the true picture of your business either.
Okay.
So I think that's important one as well.
So I shouldn't be shopping at James Street on the weekend with my business card.
Definitely not. Are you already doing that? I didn't know that.
I guess that's a really good point, and it kind of leads me into my next question, which is around financial mistakes. We all make them. But what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see from agency founders or business owners, especially in those early stages?
I think it goes back to the point that I just made as well, like, just underestimating your expenses, or how to put it other way, you don't know your break-even point pretty much. Like, you don't know how much, what are your baseline expenses to run a business? You got your subscriptions, you got your software, you got your advertising, marketing, could be accountants sending your bills as well in the initial stages of your business setup as well. So I think just underestimating on those expenses, I think that's something recruiters make a mistake on. Other one is also month on month when they start operating, just mindful of your cash flow, because the recruitment industry can be very bumpy. So 1 month you might have really good billings and you got good money in the bank, and you go and spend all that, and then next 2 months you haven't got any billings. Good. So I think just be mindful of that as well, month on month change in your cash flow and how that impacts, and keeping a buffer in your bank for those those rainy days.
The xrecruiter finance team is quite unique. You've got a team with people from all different kinds of backgrounds in finance, and you've come together to really manage the whole entire process of business ownership, from setup and registration to ongoing management and P&L management, which is really impactful, I guess, from a finance perspective solely. What are, if you talked earlier about kind of what you do as a finance team, but what would you say the biggest impact is that your team has on people throughout that journey?
I think the biggest impact is being able to take the financial stress off their shoulders so they don't have to think about it. Because as a business owner, you can have external, bookkeepers or advisors doing your stuff, but still you're thinking about that. You are still accountable, responsible for that, right? But with xrecruiter, I think we take that stress away from them so they don't have to think about that. And then they actually can focus on what they're actually good at, which is, building relationships, making those calls that are really, really important and gonna get you that one extra sale, one extra, placement for the month. So I think that's a big one, I would say. That's the impact. And other one I would say is the collecting the cash as well. So usually making a placement is great, but it's not a reality until the cash has hit your bank account. So I think our average DSO, which is how long it takes to be able to get the money back from the clients, it sits around 23 or 24 days, which is really, really good as compared to the industry average, which sits around 40 plus days.
Wow.
So I think that means the partners, the recruiters get their cash early into their bank account and helps them with their cash flow as well.
Wow. Okay. So it's not only you're managing the whole finance function, so they really don't have to be thinking about it day to day, but on top of that, you're also allowing recruiters to get paid on average 17 days faster than the rest of the industry.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's incredible. That's
Yep.
incredible. So you've seen a lot of successful recruiters come through. In terms of managing the financial kind of habits and behaviors, what are the ones you consistently see showing up with recruiters which are doing really well with their finances?
Yeah, first one off the top of my head is just knowing your numbers. Like the best recruiters know their numbers. They know what their expenses look like, and that on top of that, they know what their revenue looks like, and most importantly, where the revenue comes from. What is the mix of their clients? So what are the best clients? What are not? The worst clients, and where they need to focus to get more of those good clients to make more revenue. Other one is having commercial mindset than being just a recruiter. So I think recruiters are really, really good at what they do. I don't think I can do anything close to what recruiters do. But I think when you are a business owner, you got to change your mindset a little bit, shift from being a recruiter to being a business owner, which means thinking from a bigger picture perspective as well, having that commercial mindset. And when you go from that one man band to then building a team, that's where your leadership skills come into play as well. So you got to then start trusting other people, be able to do the job that you have done really, really well and back in the day. But I think that piece really comes into play. That's where most of the recruiters struggle, in my opinion, because trusting someone else, and then expectations as well, meeting the client expectation in the way you have met back in the day. I think that part where recruiters struggle as well. But that's the key to growing a successful business in the future.
Yeah, 100%. It's a big mindset shift, and we've spoken about that a lot. You mentioned knowing your numbers. So if I'm a recruiter, is that something you manage for me and I can kind of report back to you on that? or do I have to manage that separately by myself to some degree?
100%. I think it's a bit of both. We are here to educate our partners on that sort of things. But when I said numbers, it's more about like your structure, your commission structure with the client, with the perms, for example, whatever the percentage fee you're going to charge. But when it comes to temps, it's even more complicated. You got to understand how the work cover, all the on costs on top of the wages and your admin fees and your margins work. So to be able to charge the client properly. And then, just knowing those numbers on top of your head, which clients are giving me the higher margins, which clients are giving me the lower margin, and where do I need to put more effort into, to get more of those good clients.
The recruitment landscape's changing, the business world's changing, the introduction of AI and the systems behind what we do is all changing. What do you think recruitment founders kind of need to be working with or developing in the next couple of years with all this in mind?
Look, I have always been of belief that AI is coming, but it's not going to take over the world, right? In my opinion, systems are there, Claude Code, ChatGPT, like there are so many different AI tools out there which you can use to streamline your day-to-day tasks to some extent, right? You can streamline the workflow starting from, meeting, sourcing candidates all the way to placing on an interview. But what I believe is never going to go away is human touch. The interaction that you have, the relationship that you build with your clients, that is never going to go away. And that's what people are always going to value more than technology. Like I've seen businesses going crazy on AI and innovation, like streamlining everything. But then the impact of that on the other side, from client side, everyone's smart enough to know what is AI and what is not. So I think that has a big impact on the revenue in the future as well. I think it's a bit of mix of both. Use AI tools, but in a limit, but still maintaining that personal connection with the clients.
Yeah, that's really good advice. You've seen a lot of business owners, like I said, you've seen a lot of agency founders start their agency. If you could peel it back to one key piece of advice from your perspective, from a finance perspective, what would that be?
It's not really finance related, but one advice I would give to the people out there, like, they maybe they want to start a business, they want to start a recruitment agency, but they're in that middle kind of zone where they can't decide really. So the advice would be to kind of just go with it. I would say believe yourself and just trust yourself and just take that leap of faith in yourself and just do it, because people are really good. Like I said before, recruiters are great. Like if you've been billing really good, billing, your billings are great when you as an employee. There's 9% possibility that you are going to be a great recruiter when you start your business as well, given that you got good support structure around you. But what happens is usually people get cold feet. I've been through that myself over the years as well. Like, thinking like, oh, I really want to do it, but don't know where to start, how to go about it. Oh, I'll do it next year. Or there's some challenges, the budget came out recently, so that scared people as well. But this stuff will happen. This will be there in 6 months' time as well, or 12 months' time as well. I think you just got to make a call one day and just go ahead with it. And to be honest, I haven't met a single recruiter or single business owner who would have said, I wish I hadn't done that. It's usually other way around. It's usually like, I wish I had done that. I wish I had gone for it back 12 months ago, so I would have been in a better position today.
I think that's really good advice, Rav. And you're right, there'll always be a reason not to, right? Yeah. But I think it's better to have tried and, said, the outcome that, they wish they had continued rather than having not tried at all. So that's great. Look, my last question, it's really important, which is around the tag phrase "better together," which we use really often at xrecruiter. Yeah. It's what kind of drives everything that we do. What does it actually mean to you?
Oh man, better together. I feel like that's a really like that. That's what we live for. xrecruiter. You step into the office, like everyone, like we all work. Like, we got like that trust within each other, and I don't see any politics that you would see in a corporate world. Everyone's genuine, everyone kind of like supports each other and all that. And from partners' perspective as well, like, we are here to support them. We are here to take all the financial stress away from them, so again, better together with them as well. So we work together as a team. They do what they are good at and we do what they're not good at, but we love to do that as well. So I think that kind of like ties in together as well within partners, within a HQ team. And we are all working towards the same goal, and I just want to share a bit of insight on that as well, how I get really excited about what we do in finance world and how it kind of ties into the better together as well. I feel like as a recruiter, we sometimes forget it's not just selling or selling stuff or making a placement. People call recruiters as salespeople, but I feel like it's more than that. The bigger picture is we are there. They are out there making placements. And placement is not just a number on the wall. It's someone's life. It's changing someone's life. Someone out there looking for a role, applied for 100 roles, met a recruiter, and recruiter connected that person with the actual job where it's going to work and then provide for the family. How I see it as well. Like we got, the more recruiters we have on board, the more impact we are creating out there in the community. Similar with the temps as well. We got 500 temps on a week-to-week basis, and they're changing every week as well. So people out there living week to week, working, they want job to feed their family, and recruiters are making that happen. I think that is such a good, proud feeling, and that's what I wake up every day thinking, that this is what we're doing. This is the impact finance team is making by enabling the recruiters just quietly from the back end, so they can do their job and we can make an impact as better together.
Yeah, that's really awesome, Rav. And you're so right. And when you look at it that way, it kind of makes the community even bigger, because it's not just the partners that we're working with. It's also every client that they work with, every candidate that they work with. So that community literally spans thousands of people across Australia already, and we're only just getting started. So thank you so much. I really appreciate hearing about it from a finance lens. I think what you do and what your team does is super important at xrecruiter, and it's nice to be able to spotlight that.
Thank you so much, Emmeline. Great to be here.
Thank you.